Pastor Ezekiel Odero and members of his New Life Prayer Center and church yesterday attended a service defying a police order to close the premises amid his criminal investigation. Pastor Ezekiel and fellow televangelist Paul Mackenzie are under investigation for the Shakahola tragedy in Kilifi County that has seen more than 100 people die from starvation under Mackenzie's religious instruction to starve to see Jesus.
Now, while Odero is being investigated for murder, aiding suicide, abduction, radicalization, genocide, crimes against humanity, child cruelty, fraud, money laundering, and being an accessory to crimes, it seems like it's a never-ending list of crimes that he's been accused of. This morning, we're joined by Duncan Osoro, who is an advocate at Osoro and Osoro Advocates. And he's, of course, the AI on the panel investigating or representing evangelist Ezekiel on the alleged criminal offenses. He joins us from Mombasa, Kenya. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Osoro.
Good morning.
All right. What exactly is going on here? Because I think it was last week or so, we heard about Pastor Ezekiel being arrested and he was granted bail. Can you clarify that he, of course, went on to hold service when he wasn't meant to?
Yeah, the true fact of what you've stated is that Pastor Ezekiel was arrested on allegations of radicalization, murder, child cruelty, and even indoctrination. But they're far from the truth. There is another pastor or alleged pastor known as Pastor Paul Mackenzie, whose church or place of worship is around 200 kilometers away from our clan's church. What happened is there have been a lot of exhumation of bodies at Shakahola, that's around in Lamb County, away from Kilifi County, where Pastor Ezekiel's church is situated. After it was discovered that there exists mass graves in Shakahola, that's Pastor Mackenzie's place. Then now they linked, or the state, having failed to investigate or put in measures to curb such a scenario, they went on a fishing expedition, arresting any pastor that may have come across or near to Pastor Mackenzie. You know, the only connection or connections between Pastor Mackenzie and Ezekiel is that Pastor Ezekiel only bought, he tried to buy a TV station. And when he realized it was not proper, he went to PAN, the network provider, and asked for it. But now, the truth is,
We're here. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes. Now, the truth is that now, after Pastor Ezekiel was arrested and incarcerated in police custody for 7 days without any charges being brought against him, in the pretext that they are investigating him, we went to court and asked the court that if at all there is any offense committed by Pastor Ezekiel, he should be brought to court and charged properly and avoid pre-trial detention. Our constitution provides that anybody who has been found or suspected to have committed an offense has a right to bail and bond. That was our main argument. But then now we have another law in Kenya called the Prevention of Terrorism Act, which can provide that you can hold a suspect for as much as 360 days to bring him to court or charge him. Now, after the expiry of 7 days, the state could not find any offense to charge Pastor Ezekiel. They could not link him to the Shakahola massacre. Now they came again and said, we want to charge him with murder. Now we need another 30 days to investigate him. That's when now the court said, this is an infringement on his rights. If you have any other investigations to do, if you have any other report, if you have any other charges to bring against him, bring him them today. If not, I grant him a bond of 3 million Kenya shillings or a cash bill of 1.5 million. He was released. Contrary to the media reports, contrary to the allegations, there was no order closing the church. Kenya is a democratic state ruled by the law. We have a robust judicial system.
So are you saying that, the speculation about the church being closed is merely a speculation and that there was no formal order given? I'd like you to please clarify on that.
There was no formal order, madam. There was no formal order. What happened is after he was arrested, there was a verbal communication from the police that now we are closing the church. That is not the proper way of doing things in Kenya or the law or in any other law-abiding nation.
All right. Is there any information on, that you maybe can share with us, on the type of teachings from Pastor Ezekiel? Because Pastor Paul Mackenzie, is accused of indoctrination and, having the level of, some type of religious teachings that has led people to commit suicide. And we're talking about more than 100 people that have been found dead now. Do Pastor Paul Mackenzie and Pastor Ezekiel have similar teachings or similar ways of preaching their gospel?
There can be nothing far from the truth. Pastor Ezekiel's teachings are all over the world. He has a televangelist TV station that broadcasts all over the world. His church does not consist of members, but worshippers. It is not a denomination that you can say it is inclined to Catholic. It's not inclined to SDA. It's not inclined to Muslims. Anybody who believes in God comes there, and it's in broad daylight. Nothing goes on at night, apart from maybe prayers. It does not encourage fasting that you are going to meet Jesus, but it is spiritual. This is a church that I can equate to the late Monroe. We have T.D. Jakes. Those are the teachings that Pastor Ezekiel does. In fact, yesterday we went there. We were there very early in the morning after we got information that the police have arrived and they barricaded the gate to his compound. Lest we forget, that compound is not only a church. That compound consists of a school, consists of a hotel, consists of about 3 restaurants. There's a petrol station. That's his residence. Now they are purporting to close down the whole compound. Where does the pastors live? Yes?
Yes, we can hear you.
The teachings are as per the Bible and for those who believe in the Christian faith.
All right.
Or those who believe, yes.
So there was a video that, made its way to the internet where the members of the church as well were maybe protesting in some way. They categorically stated that there was no order given and saying that they will hold the government responsible for the lives that have not been saved as a result of the church being shut down and, the people who don't get some sort of freedom, so there were a lot of claims that were being made in that video. The question now is, what is the way forward? You're saying that they haven't followed the rules. They haven't followed the constitutional provision. So what is the way forward? What is to be expected from this case as regards Pastor Ezekiel?
What I'm saying, madam, is this. And the Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides for a very wide range of rights and fundamental freedoms to be enjoyed by each and every individual, not only a Kenyan, but any other individual that is in Kenya. And Article 32 provides for freedom of conscience, religion, association, that you are free to join any religion of your liking. And now, in Kenya, to limit a freedom or a fundamental right, then there must be the rule of law to be followed. Here is somebody, probably a police officer, who has not even gone to court and says, now, we have arrested Pastor Ezekiel. We are closing the church without proper investigations, without a court order, just verbal declarations. It cannot work. Now, the video you've seen there, we were there, my fellow counsel and myself, after they had barricaded the gate to the church. And then now we were asking, give us a formal order and we will advise pastor to close down.
All right.
Give us give us a communication from the authorities, written authority, written legal document that the church must be closed down. There was none. And then now we say
Mr. Duncan, unfortunately, I mean, we're talking about more than 100 lives here. So it's expected that there would be people who are really, really sensitive and really, really triggered by the whole conversation and, would want people punished. And so maybe that's where Pastor Ezekiel is being, pulled into the whole conversation. Maybe not, but it's still left for the Kenyan authorities and, and police to investigate properly. And we would like to have you back again, for further updates on this if they emerge. But for now, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We will speak with you again pretty soon.
For maybe a second, maybe 30 seconds, kindly, the more than 100 lives were found at Shakahola and not in Mavueni Church where Ezekiel preaches. And before this, even before this now, the picture you are seeing there is not in Pastor Ezekiel's compound. We invited the media. The compound was open to the media and any authorities to investigate and even search for any grave. None was found at Pastor Ezekiel's compound. These bodies were found in Shakahola, more than 200 kilometers away from Ezekiel's place. And it's very unfortunate that the media, when they are talking about Shakahola, they link it to Ezekiel. Shakahola belongs to Mackenzie, not Ezekiel whatsoever. It is there. It's open for anybody to come and search or even dig up any grave in that compound.
All right. I think your point has been properly made. Thank you very much. We will be speaking with you again. Thanks for your time.
Much obliged.